I am a YouTube star. I am.
You want to go for a ride?
Dude, don't just sit there like you have crotch rock.
Yeah.
Alright. Hey. Oh, okay, hey.
I'll use Uber.
Alright. Hey! Welcome once again. Thanks for showing up. Who's in the mood for an RC video? Yeah, I kind of am too, so let's get to it. Not a lot of action here, but we're going to get into this Axial bomber situation. There it is right there. You may have noticed in one of the last videos I had some battery issues. Well, I'm hoping that I solved them. I thought that I found the right battery. All right, so it's supposed to fit. It looked like it fit. The width was right, the length was right, but for some reason I discovered that there was a pivot point. Okay, so when it goes all the way in there, as you can probably see, it goes all the way in there, there's something blocking it. Okay, so it's creating kind of a pivot point. You can see that. I hope you can see that. Anyway, with that battery only able to go that far down, it prevented this from closing. Okay, this would barely not close. So I decided, let's take it apart. The reason there's a pivot point is because deep inside there is what I think is known as the ESC, and it just seems to be right in the way, in the center of this battery space. So I figured maybe we need to take the initiative and see if we can move that. So bear with me. We're going to take this thing apart, try to keep good track of all of the screws and whatnot, because don't want to lose any of them. Who's got forest fires raging near them right now? Raise your hand. Yeah, well, we do, definitely. What a lot of fun, huh? Nice fresh air to breathe. Here's a little something I'm kind of excited about. If I ever do get to the point where I can actually run this, I'm going to eventually upgrade to a better steering linkage. So that's a little something to look forward to. The steering is really plasticky and loose and kind of cheap, quite frankly. Yeah, that should be cool. So I figure some of you folks out there that are familiar with the Axial bomber are saying, well, Eric, I've got a battery that fits just fine. It's blah, 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 or it's this one or that one. And to that I say, well, good for you. If I wanted to go with a 2S battery, it wouldn't have been difficult to find the right fit. But because I came into the hobby at 3S, I wanted to stay with 3S. And that's why I'm probably causing a lot of problems for myself. Let's do this one next. I hope you guys like my little workshop here. This is Eric without a workbench for his RC cars. So you get the on the floor workroom that also doubles, triples, quadruples as a living room and a dining room, sometimes an office and a kitchen.
Thanks.
Yes,
Thanks for coming by, 'cause,
I live
we do
a very
always
modest
appreciate
life.
company. And, I mean, we
like you guys. We want you to show up.
I
But God, wipe your feet.
own probably
And then,
3
All
shirts.
right, just this time, please.
2 of them are
Subscribe.
t-shirts.
You know, I mean, it doesn't cost you anything.
Seems to get me by
just
just
click that
fine.
little subscribe button, and then don't do
So
anything else. I
let's
don't care,
see,
whatever.
what is
just
the next
just subscribe.
move
I
here?
really,
Looks like
maybe share the video.
Looks
Tell
like
someone
we're gonna
about
have to
it.
take
Let
that
somebody know
off,
that you watched this cool
so-
video the other day, or maybe it's a sucky video. I don't know, but just tell somebody about it, and maybe give me a comment. I mean, let me know what you think. I mean, come on. I mean, I know you guys get tired of me always asking, please subscribe, please subscribe. I need some help. But really, I really could use some help in this. It's not like it's easy, and it takes some time, I mean, come on. I mean, if you're not going to do it for me, then at least do it for the children. Come on, man. I mean, all right, look, I promise. I swear I'll keep practicing to make better videos. I want you guys to keep watching, and I want to make a good video. And, I don't know, maybe one day when I do grow up, you might actually wind up liking these videos. And maybe even telling me so. I don't know. Okay, look, I swear I will probably grow up someday, okay?
There's
I'm gonna
that.
mature. I mean, the day will probably come when I'm an adult. And I really want you guys to support me, okay? Here's the other thing. If you vote for me, I will give you free stuff. And
There's
things.
that.
All the time. All right, so come
And
on.
here we are.
Love, Eric.
So the problem with this battery, as I'll show you now, when it's sitting down in there, the reason that it doesn't quite go all the way in is because of this little doohickey right here. And I don't know if there's going to be any way I can fix that. Okay, so here's what I discovered. The ESC was mounted just forward enough to be slightly in the way of this battery. That's no fun. This is only mounted by a really super sticky tape. So I pried it loose very gently, making sure that all the sticky remains on the ESC. So when I remount it, it should stick back there just fine. But now, when the battery goes in there, and there's nothing in its way, it does go down a little bit further. And I think that once I get everything put back together, this should work. I have hope. I'm confident that that's going to work. But I did discover this little part in between the ESC and the motor. It was mounted on the positive lead coming off of the motor. I suspect, and it's really heavy, it is not magnetic. I mean, this itself is not magnetized, but it being as heavy as it is, I think that it's some kind of a heat protector. I don't know. Why don't one of you guys that do know what the heck you're doing with RC cars, leave a comment down below and let me know what it is that I just took off. I'm going to put it back on, but I had to kind of reposition the wire a bit. I looked in the instruction manual to see if there was anything about it, and there wasn't, of course. I do think that it's got to be some kind of a heat protector. It was mounted lengthwise, and it was preventing the ESC from being adjustable towards moving towards the back. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put the battery in, and then I'm going to put the ESC in there snugly, and then probably reposition this this positive lead coming off of the motor, put this back on it, put all the parts back together, see if we don't have a running machine after that. I think that it's going to work just fine once I'm done, but we're going to find out shortly. So in the meantime, just bear with me. Okay, so here's what I did. The ESC, this doohickey, I moved it back a little bit so that there was some space between it and the battery. And then I kind of moved the positive lead just bent it a little bit coming off of the motor so that this thing was facing sideways instead of facing back to front. That gave it enough space there to move the ESC back. Also tied these wires this direction a little bit tighter just to keep them further away from the motor, as the motor is what gets really hot, I reckon. We'll see what happens here. We're moving forward. Well, all right, so here we are at the end of the process. Put everything back together. There were no extra parts. That's always a good sign. Seems like the battery fit the way it was supposed to. The hood is closed as it should be. Seems like the servo's working. All of the lights are working. The moment of truth is now. Yes. Successful project. I think we got her fixed, and hopefully the next video that features the Axial Bomber Savvy edition is outside, somewhere out there in the wild. Hopefully it's a little more fun than this one, but thanks for watching. I appreciate your patience on this, as it was a learning experience for me, and we're going to move forward now. Again, thank you, and we'll see you next time.